Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're talking about a movie that I just rewatched for the third time this afternoon. I'd watched it when it first came out in the theater back in 2017. I loved it back then. I loved the two times I've rewatched it, and I was pretty sad that this movie didn't do much at the box office. It was made on a budget of roughly around $209 million, and it only made $226 million at the box office. But I love this movie. I think it's got a lot of potential, and there's a lot of things happening in it. But that is the problem with there's a lot of visual things happening, and it takes time to explain and create such a universe. But and this is done by somebody called Luc Besson, who is one of my favorite directors. I love some of his work, like especially I especially love The Fifth Element and the movies that he's made. La Femme Nikita, I've not really watched it, I'm aware of it. He did direct Taken, the first movie Taken. He directed Anna, which I really liked. Lucy, which is very odd, but still is good. It's a good movie. I haven't seen any of his other stuff, have I? No, that's about it. But I do like The Fifth Element. I mean, I love The Fifth Element, which I've got to rewatch pretty soon and put up a review for it. So, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. It's basically of this French comic. It is a 2017 space opera film, a sci-fi opera film, but it is based on the French science fiction comic series Valerian and Laureline, and the universe that they have is pretty awesome. It stars Dane DeHaan as Valerian and Cara Delevingne as Laureline. Both are actors who have not watched much. In fact, I think Cara Delevingne, I've never seen anything else. Dane DeHaan, I think I've seen in one or two other movies again. You also have Clive Owen, Rihanna, Ethan Hawke, Herbie Hancock, Chris Wu, and Rutger Hauer. And I just learned that Chris Wu is got a very controversial lifestyle. I mean, he's a serial rapist apparently. And he's in jail. All right, so it unfortunately didn't make the at the box office. I do have the DVD somewhere over here, but I watched it on a streaming service. That's the way things been going on pretty much. All right, so basically the ISS, they started expanding the ISS back in the back in this century basically. And they added on and added on and added on, and by the 28th century or something like that, a lot of extraterrestrial people also joined in, and they made it like a habitat for cooperation between all these worlds. It soon became a massive city in itself. That's why it's called the City of 1,000 Planets, because there's so many alien species living in, and their habitats have been changed to basically, I'm saying basically quite a bit, its habitats have been changed to affect the environment of their home planets, something that they would enjoy more. So it is a huge place. It had to be moved away from Earth because the gravitational pull would be too powerful for them, and it was sent off into deep space. And they call it Alpha, which is now a space traveling city, and it's got millions of species from thousands of planets. I think they do say 7 million or something like that. And there is a police, excuse me, I just had to turn this side, a police division also created by the United Human Federation, taking a little bit of Star Trek, I guess, over here. And they basically try to preserve the peace throughout the galaxy. And our heroes are Major Valerian and his partner, who he's got a huge boner for, Sergeant Laureline. So we see this, I think something like 30 years ago. There's this planet called Mull, and there's a low-tech humanoid race over there. These beautifully weird-looking aliens that are very peaceful. They live, connected to the Earth, connected to the planet soils and the water and the animals, and they use these pearl-like stuff that they get from the ocean to feed into uh, a mule converter, which basically is an animal. When they feed one of the pearls to it, he starts excreting tiny pearls, and that basically powers their requirements, and they are extremely powerful. However, their planet gets annihilated when the Federation, led by one of the colonels, his name is Arun, which is very surprised, it's an Indian name. Arun Fillet, who was the commander, and a huge spaceship of the enemy, the other faction, whatever it was like, fell onto this planet, destroying it. Unfortunately, the Pearl's leader, Emperor Ban Limai, his daughter could not be saved. She was outside. If it opened up, they rush into this another downed spaceship, and he and some of the survivors, they could not get their daughter in, so he and his wife had to watch her getting killed. But as she gets killed, her energy dissipates into the universe, and it goes into Valerian. She kind of picked him somewhat. So they're a very wise race, even though they're very low tech. Then the pearls, the aliens are basically called the pearls. They their ship is launched. They finally they are able to learn the human technology. They learn about physics. They learn about all the technical stuff, and learning to read the computers. And they develop their own ship later on, and then they travel. They finally reach and crash onto a section on the Alpha, and they need power to basically leave. So they recognize that. Oh, sorry, I knocked my tripod away when I just stretched my leg. And Arun is basically the guy who they really want, because they know that he was responsible for destroying their planet. Valerian and Laureline are brought there, and in their care they have the last remaining mole, mole converter. They don't know what it is actually. They just know it's an alien creature, kind of like a big hamster kind of thingy, but an alien hamster. And while there's a conference in Alpha, the pearls, they come in, they attack the people. They don't kill anybody, but they take away the commander. Valerian and Laureline go behind them. When Valerian leaves first, Laureline goes to rescue him, and of course their adventures throughout the various alien sections of the planet is amazing to watch. I couldn't describe to you a lot of those things, but there are these odd-looking creatures, alien creatures, that kind of remind me of some dumb the sloth kind of things. The sloth basically from the Ice Age planet, but much bigger. And apparently their king wants to eat Laureline's brain, but of course she's rescued. There's this what's that creature? A bubble creature which can mimic other appearances easily, and it's voiced and played by Rihanna. Cannot stand her. Can't stand her music. I don't think she can act well either. But she comes to their aid as well, and in the end, it's up to them to get the corrupt commander imprisoned and save the pearls as well. They just need their technology. They just need that converter to basically power the ship and leave, and that's basically what the movie is all about. It's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a wild ride. You should watch it in the theaters if you could have it back then. But yeah, watching it even now on television, I love this movie, to be honest. There's a lot of fun stuff, and I wish they could actually have sequels. Trying to see if there's actually any plan for it, but he did say that because Luc Besson basically that there are plans for possibly getting a sequel because fan acceptance of it has been pretty good, and I think it did well on the DVD and Blu-rays. Like I said, people like me, I definitely do love it. Anything that anything that's sci-fi done as well as this is near and dear to my heart. Let me just say this: I would prefer this over Star Wars. Oops, yeah. But Star Wars doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest. I do watch it and I do enjoy a lot of it, but yeah. Anyway, that's basically Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. I give it an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. I know a lot of people may disagree, but that's just me. This is my channel. This is what I feel about it. Thanks, guys, and have a good night.